Hi y'all, it's Loring Taoka coming to you from my studio in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I'm here to answer a couple questions about my upcoming show Verses at Galleri Urbane. I would say that there isn't really a typical day in my studio, and that comes from me viewing everything that I do in my day-to-day life as part of my studio practice. So things like making a painting or preparing a file to make a painting for me, cutting vinyl, making boxes, reading, research, show proposals, any of those sort of things that we would normally identify as a studio practice definitely count, but I also think it's really important that I'm mindful of where I am in my energy levels, where I am mentally with the work, and I balance all of those typical studio practices with things like going on a walk with my dogs or playing with my dogs or hanging out with my friends or my family, rest and relaxation. I love to take naps, playing video games. So I think a typical day really depends on where I am in the process of making. So if I need to finish a painting, I will sit down and finish a painting. If I need to rest and relax and watch some TV so I can revisit that work later on, in a more balanced manner, I'll do those things. The title for my show Versus comes from my thinking about what it means to be in opposition to power structures or social systems or institutions, and how I move through and navigate those spaces safely. I wanted to hold up this conceptual mirror so I'm able to, or the viewer is able to, be in a space that is on a threshold, or it freezes this moment of flux, so we can sort of deconstruct the ways in which we participate in these systems, the ways in which we're imposed to these systems, and how we can sort of come to understand those systems as this always already present thing. I use geometric shapes as the foundation in my imagery because it allows me to engage with this understandable, recognizable form. And what I can do with that is push it to the point of illegibility, so it becomes almost indecipherable. So when I'm looking at an image that I've made, or the viewer's looking at something that I've made, we can sort of have this hard time coming to terms with what we're looking at and how we understand it. And I do this because it acts as a parallel or as a mirror to my experiences as a queer Japanese American and how I am engaged with, how I'm read, and how I'm understood. For the work in Verses, I used the X shape as the foundation for the imagery, and I did this because of its ability to be read in many different ways and have all of those interpretations be simultaneously correct. So someone might say it's an X, someone might say it's a stand-in for a number or a multiplication sign, and they can all be true. They can all exist at the same time. I approached the work for this exhibition a little bit differently than I've done previously. I created a singular image and then deconstructed it and reinterpreted it through different approaches. And I used these specific techniques because of the inherent qualities that are present in the finished work. So on one wall I have UV prints on plexiglass, and they're really clean, they're really slick, they look almost digital, and there's this non-surface quality to them. On the opposing wall I have a really thick application of acrylic paint. And what this allowed me to do was to take that singular image and pull it apart and still have that function as the base of all of the work, have it run through all of the work and have it inform every single piece that's in the exhibition, but have how it's created, how it's understood, and how we reconcile all of the work together be a different thing.